Hey, good morning guys. I'm the Tech Prepper. Anyways, I hope everybody's doing well. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is that I haven't done an EDC update in a while, and I have added a few items. And given all the fires that are taking place in California and the left coast, I thought it might be a good opportunity to talk about why something like this may be helpful for your new preppers. So, I mentioned a situation where you can't return home, but you still need to have some items just to get through the day, get through the night, and be a bit more comfortable. And I think that the perfect item for that is something that you have with you at all times, anytime you leave the house. And this everyday carry bag, or EDC, is not a go bag, it's not a get home bag. It just contains the items that you need for yourself on a daily basis. And as a man, I can actually think of this as a male purse, if you will. I need to carry a bunch of stuff with me, and if I go to the mailbox, which is a mile down the street in the Jeep, or walk down there, or go to a restaurant, anywhere time to leave the house, this is always with me. And these kits are very personal. They'll vary for everybody, but I want to go through and do a dump of what I carry, and maybe you'll have some ideas. If you guys see anything I'm missing, feel free to put some comments below. So we'll start with the bag. This is the Haley Strategic Flat Pack Pro. I do like it. It is the larger version of the flat pack, so it gives me a little bit more room. I use the smaller version for trail runs, and it's perfect for that. And what I like about this bag is that it's really nondescript. It doesn't have a whole lot of like tactical look and feel to it. It's just gray, so it works well with that gray man mentality. But it's also expandable. I've got the outer pocket expanded, and if I need a little bit more room in the main compartment, it's got another zipper so I can expand the footprint quite a bit. So with that, let's get started, and we're just going to go through the items in no particular order. So here is just a little pouch that has all of my cables. So headphones, charging cable for each of my devices. So from iPhone all the way down to my flashlight. I have a couple of Altoid tins. One of them actually just is Altoids. I'm a consultant by trade, and I just like to have breath mints with me at all times. And the other one is just my Booboo Kit that I made. It has bandages, a little bit of duct tape, pliers, Advil, things of that nature. And there's a video somewhere on my channel that has that dump as well. And then I carry with me a 2800 milliamp hour battery pack to charge all of my USB devices. I do have a reminder on my calendar once a week to charge this battery. In fact, to charge anything that has a battery in my house. I have a small Moleskine Notebook. I do like to take a lot of notes in handwriting. And one trick that I like to do is, the Moleskines are nice because they have a pocket. Mine's pretty beat up from use, but I like to put a few bucks in there just to have some extra cash. I've got a little pouch here. I do collect all these little pouches from miscellaneous items. I think this one came from Olight. But in here I have just some extra tools. I have an extra folding knife from SOG. My old multi-tool, this is the Gerber dime. I broke the grip, or grew up the vice grip on it, or pliers if you will. But all the tools work just fine, so I like to keep it here as a backup just in case I lose the one that I carry with me on my person. And then, believe it or not, I use a small crescent wrench pretty frequently. I do a little bit of work with ham radio and the antennas, and it's great to have this tool to deal with the mounting hardware. And then I have a small sport wallet. On the front I actually have a couple pairs of wipes for my eyeglasses and sunglasses, and then I have about $5 in quarters. The reason why I have this is I have found myself needing to park at a meter and them only taking quarters, or out in the RV we need to use laundry, and we need a few bucks to do laundry. So just nice to have just a sack of change. I do carry a flashlight with me at all times. This is a backup flashlight. It's just a small, inexpensive dual cell stream light. This is the ProTac 1L 1AA. I like it because it's multi-cell, and it takes, I believe, a CR123, a AA, and a AAA. So it's really great. It'll work with whatever battery you have at your disposal. And then I have a couple of pens here. Again, I just like to have something to write with at all times. And I used to carry a single package of Advil in my Altoid tin, but I was going through them so quickly, I just decided to get a larger container. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers it for the outside pocket. And I'm going to show you one thing real quick. So I can actually collapse this even further. So this is what the Flat Pack Pro looks like when all the compartments are flat. In the middle compartment, I have 3 extra magazines for my Glock 43. I do carry a small subcompact pistol with me, so it's nice to have extra ammo with me at all times without it hanging off my pockets. Okay. This is one of my favorite items. I always have snacks in my bag in a Ziploc bag. Typically, I like to carry beef jerky because they're individually wrapped. They last a long time as long as they're not opened. And then I also carry a couple of salt tablets, Cliff Bar, electrolyte powder in the form of Propel, and then a couple bags of instant coffee. And I keep everything in plastic bags as a for management and kind of separating like items, but it also works great as a waterproofing agent. This is a small toiletry kit. I used to travel quite a bit on business, so I like to have extra butt wipes and tissue. This came really handy when we did our trip from California back to Arizona and had about 400 miles when everything was shut down, including the restrooms. So this was a lifesaver. In fact, this is one of those things, if you're a hiker and a runner, you're just used to having this in your bag. My wife's going to kill me. She's probably not watching this, but she carries in her bag a pee stick. It's a little plastic contraption and it looks like a slide. So hers actually includes a plastic pee stick. This is just my disinfectant kit. I've been carrying this for years, given the nature of my job and traveling so much. It's just Clorox wipes to wipe down surfaces and then hand sanitizer. And then I always like to have an emergency blanket. These are great if you find yourself on a trip somewhere that you weren't planning on going and the temperature is a bit cooler. We've run into that situation before. And then I've also used this at airports when I found myself stranded in like Chicago O'Hare. That airport is terrible. And I slept pretty comfortably. It made a lot of noise and probably bothered people, but I was warm. And it's also good for first aid if you have to administer first aid and control somebody's core temperature. It's a great piece to have on hand. So in the main compartment, let's take a look at what we have. So this is a piece of new kit for the last like 4 months or so. And it's just my my virus kit. So I have my mask if I go into a facility that requires I wear a mask. And then I have a handful of latex gloves, more hand sanitizer, and then I have mini hand sanitizer pouches. So one-time use, but if you really need it, it's nice to have. Now, this is interesting. So I mentioned the fact that, hey, if you get yourself stranded overnight, maybe you're at a dinner party and had too much to drink and can't come back home, or let's say that you're traveling on business and you just want to brush your teeth in between flights. You can't come home for whatever reason and you have to stay in a hotel. This little bit of kit is just a little bit of toiletries. It has my toothbrush, a toothpaste, floss. I have some antibiotic ointment in there, more lens cleaner, sunscreen, chapstick, and then I also carry water purification tablets with me. So put whatever you want in there. For me, these are the items that make me feel comfortable when I need them. The next 3 items I'm not going to go to in great detail. This is just my ham radio APRS kit. It is a backup Android phone. There's no plan on it. I have an extra battery for my handheld radio. And then I have a small case that has my TNC for the radio, and then just its cabling and some extra charging cables for my flashlight. Okay, so I also carry with me a small paperback book all the time. This is nice as, you know, if the power goes out, I just want to go ahead and do some light reading. I'm in the car and have to wait for somebody. It's just nice to have a book to go to that doesn't require any type of power. This happens to be Larry Niven's Ringworld, and what my wife and I do is we go to the Goodwill probably twice a month, and we just pick up their books for like 99 cents, and we've got a small library of like fiction, nonfiction, you name it. So just something I like to have. And then I always carry with me my dual band 2-meter 440 ham radio. This is the Yaesu FT60R. Like I said, I live in an area where we have very spotty cell coverage, but we have very good access into our local repeater. So that's the best way for me to raise somebody if there is an emergency that comes up. And yeah, the last item on this list is just a gallon Ziploc bag with kind of a light winter gear. I have a wool cap at the top, a rolled up rain jacket, a long sleeve base layer, and then a pair of gloves. And I have found myself stuck in monsoons where the rain jacket comes in handy. I mean, it'll just start pouring. So this is fantastic. We've done trips where the temperature swing is like 30 or 40 degrees, and it's nice to have the gloves and the cap. The gloves are nice too if I have to change a tire or something like that. I also have gloves in the Jeep, but you never know. It's always handy to carry this, and it's not a whole lot of weight. So guys, really the goal of this video was just to appeal to the non-preppers out there to consider, you know, just carrying a little bit of extra stuff with you that you do use on a day-to-day basis. And for the most part, they're comfort items, but I like being comfortable. I don't know about you. So hopefully you found something in here useful. If you have any comments on what you carry, anything you think I missed, let's go ahead and talk about it in the comments below. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys for all the views, all the subs. You guys are amazing. I'm loving the community that is kind of growing right now. So I'm the Tech Prepper. Be strong, be safe, and be prepared. That's good.